From prehistory, let us check out some rarely mentioned historical facts about our country, particularly Mindoro. The name Philippines itself originates from the second Prince of Asturias, who would later ascend to the Spanish throne as King Philip II. As mentioned in a previous video, Puerto Galera served as a strategic port for Spanish trading galleons. However, what I didn't highlight is the fascinating story of Mindoro. Before it was divided into Oriental and Occidental, the Spanish named the island with its unique history in mind. Mindoro, historically known as Ma'i, appears in Chinese records from the Song Dynasty. These accounts describe Ma'i as a bustling hub of trade, where Chinese merchants bartered cloth with the barbarians and engaged in an active exchange of gold. The island was a significant source of gold, earning its name from the Spanish phrase minería de oro, gold mining. Over time, Min de Oro evolved into the name we know today. Mindoro. Interestingly, the proof of early trade and treasure in the Philippines extends beyond the scrolls of the Song Dynasty. In Subic Bay, treasure hunter and wreck scuba diver, Brian Homan uncovered artifacts that offer a glimpse into his illuminating life of deep diving, wreck salvaging, treasure hunting life. Brian Homan was not only a treasure-seeking nut, but also a dive instructor that has trained numerous students in his beloved Subic Bay. One student in particular, interning as a dive master, once asked Brian if he had a secret to his remarkable success in discovering so many wrecks throughout his illustrious career. His answer? It's partly luck, but mostly knowing your history. Brian meticulously documents ancient trading ports like Manila, Malacca, and Puerto Galera, the site of his first wreck discovery, where Brian first fell in love with the Philippines, and where Brian began his career and lifelong obsession with wreck salvaging, alongside his then-wife and business partner, Alan, at Captain Greg's, nestled under the billowing coconut palms of Sabang Beach, Puerto Galera. In 1983, during one of his dives, Brian made a career-defining discovery.
As always, the wonders of the underwater world encompassed me as soon as the waves were a few feet above my head. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, when I spotted a circle in the golden sand of the seabed. The excitement within me was now so intense I could hardly breathe into my regulator. Current slowly cleared the water and there, shining golden a few centimeters in front of my face, was the curling, clawing befanged emblem of the dragon throne of Imperial China.
This discovery took place in the passage of Puerto Galera, off Mindoro, a fitting testament to its name as the Port of Galleons. The wreck he uncovered was a 15th-century balangays, a Malay-edged doweled sailing vessel containing hundreds of pieces of blue and white Ming Dynasty pottery. Experts date the find to circa 1500 AD, and its cargo has been deemed uniquely valuable, not just for the porcelain but also for the ship itself. Investigations revealed that the vessel was made of Southeast Asian black teak, found in parts of the Philippines but not in China. This discovery suggests that large Chinese junks transported goods to the Philippines, where they were then reloaded onto local vessels for further distribution. Such evidence points to a more sophisticated and interconnected trade network than previously imagined. Brian's words resonate with the spirit of discovery.
Out there, somewhere amid the twisting channels and countless waterways, through the passages and lagoons that separate the Philippine Islands, I believe there is a lot more to discover that can bring us closer to an unrecorded past.
What they did not know then was that the Philippines, known at the time as Ma'i, was first mentioned in volume 186 of the official history of the Song Dynasty in 971 AD, in the book titled Zhu Fanji. The author of this Song Dynasty book was Zhao Rukuo, a member of the Song Dynasty imperial clan. He was assigned as a supervisor of maritime trade in Chuanzhou, Fujian. During his time there, he had the opportunity to meet merchants from various countries and gather valuable information about distant lands and their trade practices. He took note of the products exchanged, studied maps of the period, and compiled everything into his book, which was completed around 1225 CE. He wrote down what Zhu Fanji relayed to him about the trading ports in the Philippines. Zhu Fanji describes the efforts of the Philippine government to regulate and tax what was referred to as a luxurious trade. It highlights the customs of the Philippines official plaza, which served as the designated venue for barter and trade.
When trading ships enter the harbor, they stop in front of the official plaza, for the official plaza is that country's place for barter and trade. Once the ship is registered, they mix freely. Since the local officials make a habit of using white umbrellas, the merchants must present them as gifts.
The Zhu Fan Ji book further details the process of transactions, describing how traders would crowd together to exchange goods, transferring merchandise into baskets. Although initially, they might not be able to identify the buyers, over time, they would learn who took the goods. Eventually, no merchandise was lost. These traders then carried the goods to other islands for barter, usually returning around September or October to repay the ship's merchants. In some cases, traders did not return at all, making ships trading with Filipinos the last to reach home. Similarly, another book, the Dawi Ji Lu book, recounts this trader's experience in Mindoro, Philippines.
After agreeing on prices, the Filipinos carry off the goods for bartering native products, and bring these products back to the Chinese in the amount agreed on. The Filipinos are trustworthy. They never fail to keep the agreement of their bargains.
Historian William Henry Scott describes this entry as the first positive reference to political states in or near the Philippines, marking an important historical acknowledgement of the region's involvement in global trade. Both these accounting have great significance to our Philippine history. That we have been called savages and barbarians, even from my own history teacher, has been demeaning to say the least. So thank you Zhu Fan Ji, Dawi Zila We, Zhao Ruku We, and historian William Henry Scott, for recognizing pre-Spanish Filipinos as well, organized civilization. And thank you Brian Homan, for proving it by scuba diving Puerto Galera and discovering that wreck, a balangays, traditional wooden boat used by early Austronesian peoples from the Philippines for trade, transport, and exploration. These discoveries confirmed the seafaring and boat-building expertise of early Filipinos. Today, the balangays is a recognized national cultural treasure of the Philippines.